Has Jon Gosselin been spying on his estranged wife? More stunning allegations about the Gosselin family, this time from a woman who briefly worked as the family's nanny. Our Paul Boyd spoke with the young woman who says she had a sexual relationship with Jon Gosselin, and in this Inside Edition exclusive, she claims Jon spied on Kate.
She's the nanny who says she was Jon Gosselin's lover, and she's not pulling any punches.
He's a liar.
24-year-old Stephanie Santoro says the TV dad promised her a life of wealth and comfort, and then dumped her.
What are you left thinking?
I'm just left thinking why. You know, why could somebody lead someone on so much and lie so much in the end?
Stephanie says she met the smooth-talking Jon Gosselin at a Pennsylvania bar where she worked as a waitress.
He came in and we were standing there talking about how he needed another full-time nanny and asked me if I would want to come do that.
She says he invited her over to his house to talk it over when Kate was out of town.
We were just sitting by the pool at first, and then we were in the jacuzzi.
Now hold on a second. You brought your bikini or you went in your underwear?
Bikini. He told me to bring my bikini with, that we would just relax in the jacuzzi, sit and talk.
The kids were asleep?
The kids were asleep.
And what happened?
Something that I never thought would ever happen.
You did sleep with him that night?
I did.
That night, Stephanie says she became Jon Gosselin's lover and his nanny. By day, she would look after the kids. By night, she and Jon would have sex in his apartment above the garage. That's where Jon has been sleeping when he's home to watch the kids ever since his split with Kate.
Over that period of time the two of you were together, how many times did you interact sexually?
9 times.
9 times?
9 times.
And you didn't feel at all like he was using you?
He was very genuine, and he's very, very good with his words. He would say it's sincere, he's being real, this is how he truly feels.
She says the affair began at the end of July when Jon and Kate were in the early stages of their bitter divorce battle. Stephanie says Jon sent her hundreds of text messages that she shared with us.
What does this one say?
This one says, I'm worried the girls might say something to Kate. I don't want to ruin your chances on working here.
He was worried about Kate finding out about your relationship.
Yes. He just wanted me to be there only when he was there because Kate didn't like anybody, and Kate was mean to everybody, and it's her way or no way.
Weren't you kind of trying to pull the wool over her eyes and make it seem like you were something that you really weren't?
Yes and no. When I was there watching the kids, that was my sole purpose and my priority. There was never any type of relationship in front of the children.
But the relationship began to sour when Stephanie says Jon revealed his dark side. She says he told her he was spying on Kate, something Jon's denied.
He said that every time she would send or receive an email, that he would know exactly what it was, that he would get a copy of it. Anytime that she would send or receive a text message, that he would know who she was talking to.
You stand by 100% that Jon hacked into Kate's emails. That's what he told you he was doing?
That's exactly what he told me he was doing. He knows how to do it. He brags about knowing how to do this stuff.
She also claims that Jon smoked marijuana when he was home alone with the kids.
As far as you know, Jon was at home getting high while the kids were in the house?
Yes, he said that they were in bed and that he was out back smoking right before we got there.
Any thoughts on some of the things she's been saying?
I can't comment on that.
Jon Gosselin denies that he had a sexual relationship with his one-time nanny.
She's accused you of using drugs while watching the children.
Like I said, you can drug test me, you can do whatever you want, but I have not used any drugs.
Is there anything you want to say to her after all that?
I don't think this is a proper place to discuss that.
Jon says you're lying about all of that.
I have proof.
What's your proof?
I have hundreds and hundreds of text messages that can back up everything that I say. Text messages from him talking about our relationship and our sexual relationship.
Later in the broadcast, we will share with you the details of those steamy text messages.
Next, world exclusive. Jon Gosselin's nanny. The private text messages that she says proves they were lovers.
I have proof, hundreds and hundreds of text messages.
Intimate details from the messages she saved.
What is this text message from Jon?
Jon Gosselin is denying the latest attacks against him, this time from a woman who briefly worked for the family as a nanny. Earlier, you heard the nanny say that she can prove she had an affair with Gosselin because of hundreds of steamy texts. Paul Boyd now with what's inside them.
She says they exchanged hundreds of steamy text messages. Now, Jon Gosselin's former nanny is sharing them exclusively with Inside Edition.
Why did you keep the text messages?
Once everything started getting serious and getting to what it was, I figured I'd better keep them just in case.
Just 2 days after she says they first became intimate, there was this exchange. The nanny wrote, "You make me so happy. I never would have thought this would have happened, but I am so glad it did." Jon replied, "Agreed, but I want to be super careful with our feelings and around our kids. I don't want anyone to get hurt just in case things don't work out." Nanny Stephanie Santoro expresses her romantic feelings for Gosselin at length. She calls him honey. He calls her love. Here's another typical exchange. She writes, "It all feels so good and so natural and real when we are together. I would love for it to stay this way and get better and better." He replies, "I feel the same way. I'll talk to you later, love." The nanny goes on, "Thank you for being so amazing to me." Then Jon replies, "Ditto."
A lot of women are watching this and they're going to ask, what did you see in Jon Gosselin?
Everyone asks that. Jon's a very sincere, very honest, or what I thought was a very honest person, and he was very fun-loving, always wanted to be family-oriented, and I saw good in him.
Stephanie says the 6-week affair ended when she says she found out that Jon Gosselin was cheating on her with 2 other women, magazine reporter Kate Major and current girlfriend Haley Glassman. She gave him an ultimatum, Haley or her. Do you think you could give up Haley? I don't know what's going to happen. What would you like to see happen? Chill and have a good time. Right now, the public is scrutinizing everything I do.
You ultimately came to realize that Jon was trying to have it both ways.
Yes.
You in Pennsylvania, Haley in New York.
I'm not going to be played, and I don't want to be the other girl.
What do you want to say to Jon?
It's time to be a man. It's time to realize what you did is wrong, and it's time to tell the truth, the real truth.
Tomorrow, more shocking revelations from the Gosselin nanny, including the day she feared that Jon was going to take his own life.